have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla. Wake up, everyone! There are two things you'll know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hello, everybody. This is it. This is the last episode of YHS on Monster Island. Not ever, but before we go to Japan. So tonight's probably going to be a lot of talking about that. In fact, we are going to be doing like our top 5 things that we're looking forward to in Japan. We got some pickups. We got the news. But Jay, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's crazy. Like, we've talked about it for so long, but like to actually say this is the last episode before, well, technically before you're in Japan, because you're there 2 days before me.
Yeah. I will be on a plane the day we would be recording a next episode. Correct. 2 weeks from today.
Correct.
I will be on a really long flight to Tokyo.
Yes. Yeah. And then 48 hours after that, I will be. And so I'll try to think of something to do for that.
You're gonna put something up?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say yes and then not be able to deliver.
If you can't, whatever.
You can't. Yeah. Because, I mean, as you probably are already experiencing, as anybody does when you go on big trips, especially 2-week-long trips where you have a lot of things that you want to hit. Like, you got to get a lot of stuff done.
And I would say don't try to podcast 2 nights before you got to go to Japan. But I will tell you, the Tuesday, the day before we leave, we are doing a toy anxiety. I don't know why, but me and Jess and AJ are all going to be at Craig's house.
So that's amazing.
There's going to be just one big toy anxiety, I guess. I don't know what's happening, but
I love it. Maybe the night before we go to Japan, I'll get like Shelly and my kids, and we'll just do our own version of YPS on Monster Island.
It'll be fun. Listen, like if you follow our, our social media, like we're going to be posting stuff from Japan. There'll be a lot of Godzilla stuff, and we'll do an episode when we get back. Yeah.
And hopefully anybody that's listening to us that hasn't been to Japan or hasn't been in a long time, hopefully it'll get the juices flowing and you'll be ready to go and book a trip right when you see our content.
Yeah, hope so. I've been watching a lot of those videos where they're like, this is what $300 American a month will get you for an apartment in Osaka. And I'm like, hey, this ain't bad. I will live in. You think I can find a tattoo shop and just stay there? I'll stay in Japan. I was like, okay, listen,
you're off the grid.
Everything's cheaper over there. All I got to do is get a storage unit for everything I own here. Those can't be too much, right? Get a storage unit, put all my stuff in storage, and we'll just stay in Japan for a couple of years.
Yeah, visas be damned, right?
Okay. Is that you got to get a visa? All right.
I just feel like they would more so there than here. They'd probably find you. Here it's easier to live off the grid, probably.
I mean, I've been doing that for a while, so
yeah.
Cut that out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What are we talking about, Jay? We got some news and stuff tonight. I don't know what probably not a lot of news. Some toy news, maybe.
We got some good toy news. We got some. Yeah. I have some pickups. I don't know. Did you have some pickups as well?
I have one pickup.
Do you want to do some pickups first?
Sure.
Let's do some pickups.
They love that sweet sound final. Get it as much as they can. Sometimes it's a glitter Godzilla, and sometimes it's Vector Man. For those best exclusives, it's gonna cost lots of yen. And let's hope that Sofubi is off their holiday top 10. Yeah!
All right, clearly I'm not used to the live.
I love cutting you off right in the middle of a sentence.
Listen, all I was gonna say is I'll go first because I only have one. You got three. Usually you go first, but I'll go first.
Oh, we're mixing it up.
We're mixing
love
up. I just got one little thing. I don't want.
Okay.
Cool. So I did pick up. Now I don't. This might have been one of your pickups too, for all I know. A lot of people, probably not. A lot of people were getting this the last couple of weeks, but Godzilla versus Biollante Criterion.
Oh, nice. No, I didn't get that. No.
Criterion. Jay, I don't know if you've ever bought a Criterion Collection DVD other than the other Godzilla stuff. They're not cheap.
No, they're wait for those specials.
But they're very good quality. A lot of cool stuff. And I'd been wanting to buy. I have a little list, like a Criterion Collection list. Movies I want to pick. But like last week, they were doing one of their flash sales where everything's 50% off.
Yeah, that's the only time I buy things
for Criterion. So. Yeah. Bought a couple of movies, but this just got released, so I had to get the Godzilla versus Biollante. And Jay, I have not watched it yet, but it does have. I want to show you this. Does have it comes with a poster, which I think I like. I like this poster art better than the
cover art doesn't do much for me.
It's not my favorite, but look at this.
Ooh. I like that. Now, see that would have been a really cool cover, but I mean, I obviously not going to sell it as much. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, and then it's got it's got like an essay or
I love that
some shit on the inside. So, but yeah, dude, physical media is the way to go. I think everybody should be buying physical media, and Godzilla versus Biollante is my #1 Godzilla film of all time. And it, it was hard to get on DVD for a long time.
The hardest, yeah.
And now you can get a 2-disc Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. So that's what I got.
I'm just glad that it's still your favorite after Jess fell asleep during it. I was worried that it might have ruined it.
Oh, don't bring that up. We'll have a fight.
No, I love it. And then obviously, right when that was coming out, I was really shocked because I love watching the Criterion Closet picks, and I love Carrie Coon, who obviously you have a connection with on your other side of your personality on the Ghostbuster side. That she picked up the Godzilla versus Biollante, which was great. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing.
It was very cool, and what's funny is there was I don't know if it was her that posted it or if it was Criterion that posted it, but a couple weeks ago, there was a photo of her from the Criterion Closet holding Godzilla versus Biollante, and Craig put it in our group chat, and he was like, "Whoa, look at this! He's like, this must be an old one." And I'm like, "Nope, that's a new one because that's not out." I was like, "That's not out yet." I was like, "Godzilla versus Biollante is not out at Criterion yet," so that's a not released video. But yeah, dude, I'm happy.
I love that.
But I'm excited because does that mean that Criterion is about to do all of the Heisei films?
Well, so we know from what that's been leaked is that they, we know they have Return of Godzilla because we're screening it at Kaiju Go.
Yes.
Through Janus and Criterion.
And I think that's on the Criterion channel. You can watch that.
Yeah. And the rumor is, and I think this is accurate, they have Godzilla versus King Ghidorah 91. Anything after that, I don't know. I think there's lots of rumors saying that they do have everything, but also the rights to release it in home video versus public performance rights are different. So I don't know what's going to come first or whatever. So I've heard different things, but my gut is that they're going to take it over. They're going to get all the rest. And,
well,
I hope so.
I'm just thinking the way they went through the Showa films, it's just kind of crazy to think that maybe in, I don't know how long it will take, but in so many years from now, there's a possibility that every Godzilla movie will be released on Criterion. That's kind of if they just keep going.
You think about even King Kong versus Godzilla, the fact that they don't have the public performance rights for that film, but they got it in the collection, right? both the English and the Japanese language, which was insane. So I will never ever doubt their capabilities of getting this stuff. So I'm optimistic.
Right. Yeah. Well, Jay, what about you, man? What'd you get?
So I'm gonna start off hot. Is it okay if I just start off? Bam, it's hot, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna start off hot. This is the hot I'm gonna start off.
The top 10 wishlist pickup alert.
I've not stopped from last week. I found this. This popped up on one of my probably Mandarake. I think was the first time I bought something from Mandarake in like a million years. But I have like an alert. You know, you set your alerts on things that like items, and this is something I had set a long time ago, and it popped up in an email one morning. And I'm like, well, by the time I wake up and see this is probably already gone, and I clicked on it and it was still there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. And then sometimes there's still a chance that it gets sold at the physical store. And even though you buy it, it's like out of stock.
Right.
And I got the confirmation that it shipped, and it showed up from, this was my number 10 on my list, from Bear Model.
Okay.
My first ever. I'm joining your club because you have one already. Ultraman Ace Kaiju. My favorite kaiju from Ultraman Ace. Calra. I got the Bear Model Calra. So I'm so excited. Look at this guy. He has the bracelet, the magical bracelet that turns it from human into the giant cow monster. Love this. This was the colorway that I wanted. I was so excited that I got the Bear Model Calra. So knocked him off the list.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful toy.
It is. It's so cool. So now he can fight with your tyrant, and they can battle some Ace stuff. It'll be great. Great stuff from Bear Model. Really cool. I love them. And people ask like, well, why'd you want the Bear Model, not the Marmot? The Marmot is splendid. It's spectacular. But there's just something about this one. I don't know if it was because of the first one that I ever saw from Calra. I don't know. I like the Bear Model version a little bit better, and it's a little bit cheaper. So yay,
cool.
Win-win.
Oh yeah.
Okay, number 2. You know, I think I'm going to stay in this like level of heat. And how about this?
The top 10 wishlist pickup alert.
I got more, dude. Like this was like the greatest week ever. Also, out of nowhere, these are available on the Japan auction site, on eBay, but you're going to pay $1 zillion for these. And they popped up for half the price. So $500 million, but still better. From Medicom, from the Toei soft vinyl retro series, dude, I got them. They were number 5 on my list. They're now number 1 in my heart. Space Iron Man Kyodyne, Groundsel, Skyzel. I got the boys, the brothers from Medicom. I'm so excited. I've been wanting these guys, and I got the vintage Bandai with the watches. That was one of the episodes I think you guys were driving up to wherever you guys were. Toy Fair. There you go.
Toy Fair.
And and so I grabbed these guys, but these are the ones on the top 10 list. Absolutely love them. They are fantastic. And so really excited about that.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the 2 more. So I think I'm up to 5
You're
off the
killing
list.
it. Yeah.
5. One more pickup.
The top 10 wishlist pickup alert.
Number 6.
This is ridiculous.
So this is my other pickup. This is one that I'm so excited to get. Like I honestly like heart flutters, man. Heart flutters. Because I think this is one of the coolest toys I have. I legit I actually feel like I'm a little bit cooler now. From Butana Hana. My number 4 on the pickup list. From our favorite movie, Latitude Zero. I got the Butana Hana Griffin. Here he is.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Look at that face. The Pachi vintage style from Butana Hana. You know, people don't always love Buddha because their, cost per square inch is not great. But I love this little dude. He's amazing. I love the colorway. And, when I put 2 things on my top 10 list from Latitude Zero, I had to get one. Otherwise, I was going to lose it. So this guy is truly one of my favorite toys that I own now. He's so dumb looking. I love him so much. He's just dumb. And he's terrible in the movie. And the movie's not bad. I don't hate the movie by any means, but like, he's so clumsy looking. But like this one, like just captures the essence of everything about him. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Good color. That's a perfect little toy. I like the wings. It's great.
From a toy standpoint, like when you just actually everything personal interest in these aside, I do think the Cowra is the best of all the toys. I think this thing is amazing. I do love them all, but this one was one that I was so excited to the others and they delivered on every expectation. I think this was one I could truly say over delivered. And I absolutely adore this toy. I'm so glad that I own it. So
hell yeah.
It was a small pickup week from a quantity standpoint, but I was 3 for 3 off the top 10 list.
I'm glad I went first. Yeah.
Hyper focus. But dude, so that's it.
Beautiful pickups. I'm glad that I went first on that. That was you deserve that spotlight. Those are great toys. Jay, before we get into news and stuff, I watched a movie over the last week.
Oh, Shin Kamen Rider?
I actually watched 2.
Shin Kamen Rider and other thing?
I've never heard of Shin Kamen Rider. Well, one, we don't really have to talked about it before. I did watch Terror of Mechagodzilla again over the weekend just because it's on TV every time I go to my mom's house.
That's so funny.
That's where I watched it last time. I was at my mom's for Thanksgiving and sat there and watched the whole Terror of Mechagodzilla. And just for some reason, it was on again.
I love that.
But we watched it, and then after Terror of Mechagodzilla, it was a double feature. And the second one, I have not watched in a long time.
Ooh.
I rewatched Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Not the original.
Gotcha.
The 1956.
Yeah, the American ones in 56.
Raymond Burr.
Yeah.
And I have not watched that probably since the Japanese version became probably since I was much younger. You know what I mean? Once the Japanese version became available over here, I don't think I've ever watched that one again. Well, why would you?
Why would you?
Very strange movie. Especially as an adult rewatching it. You know, I watched that movie a lot as a kid. I watched it so much as a kid, and it's been so long since I've seen it, but sitting there, it was all I could speak the movie with it, you know, and the cadence of the dubbing, I was it was so nostalgic, and I was oh, I know every single thing that's coming out of these people's, you know, it was I had this movie memorized and forgot because I've been watching the better version. That movie kind of sucks. It's weird because it's I wrote a letterbox review for it, and it's man, clearly the actual original Japanese version is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But then the American version is this super weird, highly edited, kind of disrespectful version of the first. And you know, I do like Raymond Burr. And Raymond Burr's great. And I'm you know, if you didn't have that, you don't have 1985. And I actually really like 1985. But man, it was just weird watching it with an adult perspective, with the perspective of have been doing this show for a couple of years and having seen the Japanese version so many times since, you know, seeing that. And I was just I was why'd they do this? You know, it's this is so weird. It's so weird. I kept laughing at all the time they actually have Raymond Burr interacting with a character where their face is blocked. You know, Sears-Al's on the phone and his face is blocked out. And it's just another guy, and it's you never. When I'm a kid, you don't notice that, and you don't notice that literally every shot Raymond Burr is in is just him in a crowd, like just looking at, like he's watching the movie too.
Yep.
I don't know. It was just weird. It was a weird experience watching like that version again for the first time in a long time.
I kind of want to do that now. I haven't either. I'm the same boat as you. Same boat as you.
You should. It's like an hour long.
So edited, yeah. So I have a challenge for you. I still think, and this is I feel pretty confident about this, but like I would have to rewatch 56 compared to 54 to really validate this. But I think even though 54 is a masterpiece and 56 doesn't hold up as much, the negative, the chasm between those two in quality, the negative delta, if you will, between those two, I still think is closer than the difference between the Japanese and the English version of Varan. Now, the Japanese version is terrible.
Yeah.
The English version is a whole nother level of hell. It is that bad. Like, I really still think it's worse. Same concept. Where, obviously the English speaking actors are like, obviously not in the film, right? They're like the whole thing. But even worse.
Well, I'm not watching Varan again.
No, it's almost a new movie. It's actually, like I said, it is exponentially worse than a really bad movie.
Yeah.
So
it was crazy because I watched it with my mom. My mom went to bed. It didn't come on. Like, my mom stayed up for Terror of Mechagodzilla, but King of the Monsters didn't come on until like 10 o'clock at night. And so it was just me and my mom's husband watched it. And it was just weird because I was like explaining to him how I was like explaining everything that I just said to you to him, and he's like, what? He's just like kind of confused. He's like, what? He didn't know any of that. He was like, oh, that's weird, and I'm like, yeah, there's a whole other version of this movie, but I was like, they cut out all the like really heavy stuff. And it was pretty crazy, but I just wanted to tell that story before we
and that, honestly, like I kind of want to go watch that now. Like I just like I said, it's been which is
I mean, it's worth watching for sure. But
I mean, I like I said, I remember wearing out that that VHS until we had access to the superior version, and then obviously that's just been kind of like,
well, it's like, why would you ever put that one on? It's like when you have access to the Japanese one, it's like, why would you ever just be like, I want to watch this one?
A heavily edited version, 100%. And no shade to Mr. Perry Mason, because like I love Raymond.
No, he's great, and I mean, he's just doing his job. You know what I mean? He's just an actor, but it's just the whole process of like, I wonder why that was like. I know some stuff got edited out because it was like, hey, we want this to be a light, fun. Let's not, but it's still like a weird. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a whole. I know it's like because they thought they needed an American actor for an American audience or whatever, but it's just like, it's just a wild movie to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. No.
All right, cool. Let's get past that. Jay, what do you got? You got some slides? You got some news? Some toy news? What are we talking about?
Do I have some slides? I think I have some slides. Let me see here.
So.
I gotta check. Hold on. That is nope. Hold on. I gotta pull up the right slides. Hold on. Nope. Okay. Hold on. Well, while I look for this, how about let's do a little bit of this?
I thought
it's the Monster Island news for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew. There are others that do it and they're okay to choose, but there's only one super trusted, amazingly handsome Monster Island crew. Can you believe they're doing that to the Monsterverse? You missed another on Raku lottery, that's the worst. You didn't hear about all those exclusives, no, you're not cursed. You just need another source for news and you'll find out first. Oh yeah, the Monster Island moves for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew.
I'm having too much fun doing this. Cutting you off mid-sentence. This is like my new favorite thing in the world.
I thought you were gonna just out of nowhere hit us with the top 10 toy alarm.
I got another one. No, we do have some news. Yeah. Oh, hey, I hear the UPS guy downstairs at 10:23 p.m. Central Time. I do. Now I'm going to do my whole thing where I might like lose you, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Let me, I got to share my screen first. That would help. Sharing screen. But we do have some fun news.
Cool.
Okay, come on. There we go. Let me share. And then I'm going to play from the start. All right. Can you still see me?
I can.
Nice. Well, let's get to some news. So I can't see you, so please don't make any silly faces at me. Hey, before we get into news, let's talk some con news.
Okay.
All righty. Let's talk some con news. Big news. I want to talk about a couple cons. This one we found out on GFest, from GFest, excuse me, that Noboru Kaneko from Tokyo SOS, Chujo, the main star of that, and our good buddy from Ultraman, Ben Furuya, are coming to GFest this year. That's a pretty good first two out of the gate from GFest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Yeah. So you'll get to meet these cats when you go to your first GFest. So
yeah.
I'm pumped, man. I think last year, I don't want to say it was like a letdown on guest, but it wasn't like any like real big, huge, like, oh my gosh, this is a main star from a film. The year before you had Shaku was there from Godzilla Gets Mechagodzilla. So like this is super duper great that they got Kaneko and of course Ultraman himself. So really pumped about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not just about GFest. GFest is number one. It's the biggest, but I do want to throw out a couple other little cons. You may know these guys. How about Kaiju Go and Kaiju Brooklyn?
Okay.
Since the last time we chatted, our good buddies, the brilliant and talented team at Kaiju Go, we've announced a few new artists that are going to be there selling their wares, including the great Wonder Goblin making his trip over from Georgia. Jenny Cherry's coming in from Mexico City.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, Chance Priest, who is a icon here in Texas. His folk art is amazing. Warriors of the Universe literally has like lines out the door at a lot of conventions to get his like bootleg folk art style stuff, and he does a lot of cool kaiju stuff. And then Octeil. This will be announced tomorrow when we're recording it. So, but Octeil's coming in from Pittsburgh, and hopefully we'll get to see some kaiju creams and some other really cool stuff from him, making his debut at Kaiju Go. So we're really pumped about that. And
that's an intense lineup, dude. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include those that have been already announced, like Max Toy, and Mark Nagata is going to be there, and Max Nagata. We also have Maggitarius has been announced, and Last Bastion Studios. We know that Toy Matrix, and of course Toku Town will be there. Spider's Cave, which is a huge horror and sci-fi and kaiju poster and vintage memorabilia companies coming in. They're going to be there, and there's even more. Like this, literally is going to be huge. Michael Morse is going to be coming back. We know we love his stuff. And we have the two films already announced, Return of Godzilla and Invasion of Astro Monster. But the matinee feature, we're going to love it.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to have the rare opportunity for you to see Super Inframan from Hong Kong is going to be screened at Kaiju Go. I'm pumped about that.
Oh, yeah. New favorite movie of all time. I'm so excited.
Princess Dragon Mom is going to be
She's going to be there.
But I'm excited because we're kind of expanding into like, hey, this is a film from Hong Kong, Kung Fu cinema from the Shaw Brothers, but inspired by tokusatsu. And I think it's so cool. And it's going to be kind of like where last year we had that really cool Ultraman matinee. This is going to be Super Inframan. So really pumped about that. But our good buddies over at Kaiju Brooklyn, who they started the same year we did at Kaiju Go, and they are flipping killing it. They are doing so much awesome stuff on the East Coast. This year, they've announced they're going to have some cool guests like Linda Jo Miller from King Kong Escapes, Keone Young, who from the Godzilla world, we think of him as He was in Godzilla Ultima. He was in Ultraman Rising. But a lot of folks in the G.I. Joe world know him as the voice of Storm Shadow in the original animated series. So he's huge. I'm not as familiar with like a lot of the later Sentai stuff, but and Power Rangers stuff. But Philip Andrews going to be there. Rashad Santiago, who I remember from Face Off, that awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's still creating monsters and stuff. He's going to be there. And then Eiji Kaminaga from Marathon. Marathon's going to be there as a guest and vendor. They also announced recently, and I think this is so cool. So congrats to that crew over there. They're going to be doing the North American premiere of Ultraman Arc, the movie that comes out. So like tip of the cap, Kaiju Brooklyn, really cool. I really want to go check that out one year. And I hope sooner rather than later because they're doing great stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I say we go.
I know. I mean, like, why not? And they have a lot of great vendors there, a lot of great artists. And a lot, I would say, super heavy into the Ultraman and tokusatsu, broader tokusatsu, Henshin Hero stuff than maybe we are at Kaiju Go, but they kill it. So really cool stuff. They're growing and growing like wildfire. So keep it up. So I did want to throw that out there, but hey, people listen to us for the toy news, the toy releases, toy news. That's what we're here for. And we don't want to disappoint because there was a lot of good stuff, dude. Like, really good stuff. And I think we would be off brand if we didn't start with this guy.
Oh shit.
He's back from outer space, to quote Gloria Gaynor. Medicom and Unraku are doing a second version of their famed Space Godzilla. Now, I do love the purple one, but don't get me wrong, but I think this was a cool, kind of very different type of choice for Space Godzilla from a colorway. I haven't seen them do anything like this from Unraku. Like, the colorway is very different, very unique. Yeah. The lottery is live. It's up until April 10th. This will ship in August, allegedly. But you want to win the lottery because it's only $132 if you win it in the lottery. We know it's not that much when it's on the secondary market. So please win that. But go in there and get that. So what did you think of this colorway? I was going to ask.
I think I like the other one better, but it is cool. I like that it's like shades of red. It's like, it does make me think it's a piece of candy. It reminds me of the that Shin Godzilla that I bought from Toku Toy Town. It's that kind of like almost like a matte. I mean, clearly his chest looks shiny, but the rest looks sort of like a matte paint job, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it's very different. I like that they're going with this colorway. I thought they would do something kind of more along the lines of they've done the other ones where they do kind of a little bit more, I don't know, like slider variations, but this is like a pretty radical change. So really cool stuff. So, but we love everything from Unraku. So this is another lottery from Kaiju 1. And this is their awesome 95 that they do. Now, this is a Hakuba Gallery exclusive. It is not designed by Shinji Nishikawa. That is from a copy and paste error. So apologies there. I have to have one every episode.
Yeah.
Now, this boy is big. I mean, Kaiju 1 does great stuff. This guy's almost a foot tall. And the lottery is live right now. They do have a proxy service built into the Hakuba Gallery site where you can get them to send it to you. So you're good there. And it will be released, in April or May. So this ends in 4/6, and then it's going to come out right after that. So hop on this one, $250. You're not going to ever get it for $250 again, plus whatever the shipping is. So do it.
Buy it. Yeah, it's cool.
I love Kaiju 1. I love their sculpts. They do really good stuff. And dude, we are so inundated with burning Godzillas. Like, I'm going to say this. I'm tired of burning Godzillas. Like, we get it. Everybody loves them. But like, this one is one that like, oh no, this one's cool. Like, I like it. It's different enough that I would totally pick this one up.
Yeah, love it.
Okay. So you sent me this one, and I saw this like the day after. I thought this was really cool. And the even cooler thing is that you can get this on the Godzilla store in the US. So yay, makes it easy. But this is based on a model kit, a resin model kit from Joku, and they'd said, Kaiju and Visions worked with them and said, hey, you know what? Let's make this a fully painted PVC figure that we can get out there to the masses. that captures this really cool interpretation of Mechagodzilla in his reveal version. And I think they did that. This looks awesome. And like, I don't know, like, it's not grotesque isn't the right word, but like just more like kind of real and just, I don't know.
Realistic. It's like a more realistic take, and the Godzilla face part is kind of insane looking. You know, they took a
Just
little
like
bit of
peeling off. Yeah. I love it. It has light up eyes. It has articulated rotating wrists. But you can get this for $435 right now in the Godzilla store, shipping out in Q4. But no, this was a really cool one that popped up. I'm glad, like, things like, even though I'm not collecting a lot into like the realistic version, realistic versions, but this one I think is worth taking a second peek at. But very, very cool stuff.
This is one that maybe if I wasn't going to Japan in 2 weeks, I might have threw this on a payment plan or something. This is a cool toy.
100%, like the skin dripping off of the tail. There's just something about it that, like, it's like I was very like taken aback in a positive way from this one. Very good stuff from that, and glad that, like, you know, I know X Plus does this a lot, you know, with the favorite sculptors line, where they take these really beloved model kits and put them in more kind of statue or fully put together and painted figure form. I'm glad that somebody else is doing that as well. So really cool stuff.
Agree.
So staying on Godzilla, I thought there were a couple really cool toys here, and I thought these were awesome. First, from Hardshell Studios, the Godzilla 54 done. This is a resin statue, and you can get this at a lot of retailers. I think GK Anime has it. .com has it as well. It's over a foot tall. It's limited to 280 units. It's about $165, but it's a really cool, like, if you're into statues and you love resin, it's a very, very well done piece for a pretty good price. Yeah. So I don't have anything I don't know much about Hardshell, but I thought this was a really cool piece.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not usually a statue guy, but yeah, dude, the price and the fact that did you say that there's only 280 unit? That's kind of crazy. That's a super low number. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And then X Plus, they gave us from the large monster series, that's the 25 centimeter series. They gave us this really cool fake Godzilla, saying on the we were talking about 74 on the last slide. So this is another one that's on X Plus North America. So xplusna.com. You can pre-order this right now for only $180. So great stuff there. You know, it's X Plus. I mean, it's gonna look good.
It's like you don't even really have to. There's not much you even really need to say about it. X Plus is doing a great fake Godzilla. Buy it.
Yeah, you know, and we've talked about Super 7 a lot of positive, a lot of negative. But one of the positives that we've always said from day one, in fact, I think like 2 Geoffreys ago, they were in the KAIJU Toy Line of the Year conversation, is their reaction line. I think the reaction line is great, and it gives a lot of people a way to get a lot of cool Godzilla characters and designs and colorways for a pretty cheap price. And I think these fit right in that, in this Godzilla 54 and Jet Jaguar, the Cherry Blossom Festival versions that are up on super7.com right now. So go buy these, please.
I love the Jet. The Jet looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now I'm going to skip this Ultraman Ace, and you'll see why in a second. Because, well, no, I'm not. Hold on. I'm skipping because I'll go back to him in a second because he got duplicated. So there are a couple releases from CCP. Now, we don't talk about CCP a ton. You know, the middle size, like I would call them like really awesome entry level Safubi, kind of like, you know, them and like maybe Gigabrain and stuff. Man, I have a lot of typo. I see a typo in here. Well, but anyway,
wow. Maybe I should get an alert or a song to cut you off.
No, I've had 3 so far, man. This one, at least, like, it's only on the price, you know. But anyway, they released their Volume 8 from the middle size series for Godzilla, and they're 4 Shin Godzillas. There's 2 closed mouth and 2 in the Awaken, you know, climax version. And these are awesome. I think these are really great. Like I think CCP is onto something with their shins. These look really good. And they're 6 inches tall, a little less than 6 inches tall. They're $40 each. They are not 59,480 yen. I think they're 5,980. or 59 and 40. I can't remember. There's an extra number in there. But the CCP is easy to get. They're on a ton of websites. But I love them, and I love that last purple, clear, blue one. I think that one's funky and really cool.
Yeah, these are cool. I don't own any CCP, but there's been a lot of times I've almost bought CCP. Like, I'm, they're so cheap. But I've never seen any in person to kind of, see what the quality's like, see what they're like. But one of these days they're gonna get me because like these are cool, and I especially like the first closed mouth, the black and red one.
Yeah, the standard.
It looks really cool to me. Cool toy.
But hey, CCP wasn't done. I think their better releases might have been right here. Look at this.
Oh, these are cool. Holy shit.
These are very cool. So this is that kind of retro black style. So they have the 96, the 99. They have the Heisei Gauss, and then they have the Showa Giron. No typos on this one. These are 36 bucks each. But also these are going to be available. But I love these colorways. I think there's something cool about, especially Giron and Gauss, like in that the black base and these like bright colors. I don't know. I think they look awesome.
I love all four of these. These are legit great toys.
100%. I'm right there with you. I think these that Giron I kind of really want to pick up. I think that one's pretty cool. Okay, so moving on. There's the Ultraman Ace. Okay, so I want to run through a couple of these. I think none of these are like, oh my gosh, like we got to stop the show and spend an hour on these. But I think these are all worth mentioning because they're all really cool. We talked about the Gyros from M78 Toys in Lestang. It was one of our figures of the year candidates. They're doing now more in that line together, which is awesome. And they're doing the Ultraman Shadow from Ultraman Zerth. I've never seen Ultraman Zerth. And it's not from Godzilla the Art Exhibition exclusive. There is a typo on this page. Damn it. I tell you, man, I need to start not using the same slides over and over because I keep on forgetting to delete things. But anyway, hopefully they know that Ultraman Shadow is not from Godzilla the Art. But this thing is $155. You can pre-order it right now on the M78 toy site. The pre-order does end on April 15th, Hong Kong time. But this thing is really cool looking. And even if you don't know or familiar with that specific show, I think the sculpt and everything stands alone.
Yeah. I mean, the colors, I like the head, the eyes, and it's pretty unique as far as those, the Ultraman design. I like it.
The next two are from Artstorm. And this is more tricycles. We love tricycles from all companies. Doesn't have to be M1, doesn't have to be Super 7. It can be whoever. Artstorm does some really cool stuff here. They're doing a Kamen Rider V3 and from Kamen Rider V3, Rider Man. I think these are awesome. They're up for pre-order right now at Artstorm. And they're coming out on September of this year, $60 to $75. Like, these are awesome, and I love the Kamen Rider V3. I think that one looks so solid. Yeah, I mean, come on, these look so good. Yeah, I love the trike. How it has like the bike top with like the windshield and everything. Yeah. And speaking of a company we haven't talked about in a while, how about YMSF? I mean, they'll be at G-Fest. And they've been doing some like larger figures in their Ultra Soft Final series. And these are like, instead of their normal like 6-inch scale, these are in that 8 to 9-inch kind of standard Safubi size. And this thing right now, it's going to be released in August. But right now, go like you normally do for YMSF, go and reach out to them on Instagram, on X directly. And then it's kind of first come, first serve. And these things are $90 and they will, they'll organize the shipping and get it rocking and rolling to you. So I think the Ultraman Ace, this is their 5th one to do. So I think it's really cool. Yeah. All good stuff here. Okay. But hey, we're not done. More Toku toys. Now, we talked about the Line Maru that I have that was kind of like the first one that Medicom released. And we talked about the one with the real hair, the hair plugs. They're doing one that I think is awesome. They're doing a pilot edition with like a light pink outfit, which is what was seen in like the original like photo stills and production stills for Line Maru. So they're calling it the pilot edition. This thing is up right now for pre-order at Medicom. So if you want to go grab this, complete the trifecta of the standard, the pilot, and the one with hair plugs,
Yeah.
and you're golden. But this is their third line Maru. So those things must be selling pretty well.
Yeah, they must be doing great. I mean, they're really cool. I almost bought the one with the hair. Like
Yeah,
they
I did.
I actually almost bought. At one point I literally put that in there's like a coffee mug, and there's like a whole little a whole little group of Lion Maru products for sale, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this. I was like, I've literally never watched this. I want it though. So I didn't, but I almost did.
I love it. No, it's so great. But Medicom released more, man. They were on fire. We're going to talk about them more non-kaiju related in a second. But they released these two really cool pieces. So these are both from, the first one is from Ultraman Ace, and the second one is from Return of Ultraman, where, kaiju, big kaiju are controlled by these aliens, these Seijin. So from Ace, you have Zygon here with Alien Antira, and this is up for a lottery right now through April 10th. And then next to that, you have Robonez with Alien Messier from Return of Ultraman. Also, lottery ends on April 10th. I love these because I love they come with the minis. I love they come with the mini 4.5 inch, 5 inch tall alien minis that, they're the aliens that control them in the show. I love the combo piece here with these big quadruped kaiju. I guess in Zygon says he's a choju, not a kaiju. But anyway, I think these pieces are awesome. And Medicom just, once again, killed it.
Yeah, I just love those kaiju designs. Those are really cool. Yeah.
There's nothing better than a cool like quadruped kaiju.
Yeah.
And the last one I wanted to throw out there, because we don't know when this is going to be up for ordering, or if it was just going to be released at the 7th SoftCon, SafubiCon, that was in Osaka. But T-Base Japan partnered with the artist, I think it's Talma, and they did this really cool, funny, whimsical, cartoony, funky version of Red King. I love this guy. We know Red King has these oversized arms and everything. Like, this takes it to the next level. It shrinks his neck down a little bit, but I think this is it looks like it could be something like in a Saturday morning cartoon. I love it.
He's kind of insane looking. He's always been insane looking, but this is it's a little crazy. It's a cool toy.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this has a wider release, and it wasn't just at the event, because I don't know, I will totally pick that one.
Gotta get one.
Okay, what else we got here? Oh yeah. Dude, can you believe it was a year ago that we did our much beloved and talked about episode, the What Would Jake Buy at the Thai Toy Expo?
I remember.
But this year, instead of doing that, I just wanted to put everything that Strange Gallery released, because I love Strange Gallery. I got my star over there. And they just killed it with these Ultraman, from Gaviton to Gomera to Jamila to Belial to I love the Zarab down at the bottom, and the Red King with his little rock, and of course the Pestar. They released all of these, what they're calling their Monster Invasion #7, at the Thai Toy Expo coming up next week. And the sculpts were done by a handful of great artists. Blue Bathtub, I know a lot of people in the designer world love, but these guys, all of these are absolutely stunning.
This is a beautiful arrangement of figures. A lot of really good colors here. This is nice.
So the Jamila there, the yellow and green and red Jamila, the more kind of, I want to call it the standard color of that, with and he has like the fireball shooting out of his mouth. It's an accessory with it. I picked that one up when they released it at the Hakaba, so I'm excited when that comes in, because I love that Jamila sculpt. I think it's one of my favorites. And of course I have the Pestar. But I think my favorite, I really want the Red King with his little rock.
Yeah.
That guy. Speaking of Red King. So very cool stuff. And then I know you wanted me to show this, so I have one more slide after this, but I wanted you to talk about this a little bit, because you had said, Jay, you got to show this slide. This picture.
Well, I mean, so Mondo did a stream yesterday, and I didn't get to watch all of the stream, but I saw this going around, and they teased our good friend of the show, Attack Peter, is, I'm pretty sure they're unveiling a Godzilla in his, like to go like with his Mecha Godzilla. So the first one he did was a statue, and it's a little undersized. The Mecha Godzilla is an actual figure, not a statue. So now he's got a Godzilla coming out, and I think they're going to have it this weekend at whatever the convention is that their Mondo's at. I forget what the con is. Is it WonderCon? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that they're going to have it and unveil it this weekend, and that's pretty exciting because that Mecha Godzilla, as we all know, that Mecha Godzilla, a beautiful, amazing figure of the year, and this is cool. I'm really excited to see his Godzilla Safubi figure.
I think it's going to be awesome. I have no doubts, obviously, based on the style and the talent and everything, but it is going to be really cool to see it and pair it with that Mecha Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh man.
Yeah, dude.
Peter's like, you know what I think so? I think he got a taste of that good life, winning the Kaiju Toy Line of the year, or Toy of the Year. And he's like, what am I going to do now? I can't
I better do it again.
Got to do it again. Can we have back-to-back wins here? I don't know. It'll be tough. It'll be tough. A lot of people gunning for that spot, Peter.
True.
I better be good. I think it's gonna be awesome, though.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I've also been looking at a lot of Hector's stuff in the background to see what cool toys he has. He has a lot of good ones there. I did have one more thing, and this is for you, Jake.
Okay.
This is not a. Now, I wouldn't turn down any of these, but this is definitely in your wheelhouse, and I think it's a great segue before we talk about what we're excited for in Japan.
Yeah.
Speaking of Medicom, how about these? And I'll just pull the slide up, and you can talk away. This is your new mission, man. You got to get them all.
Oh boy. Yeah, dude. I was very excited to see that Star Wars Celebration is going to have Medicom exclusive to Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Safubi, and I've seen there's some other Star Wars Safubi out there, some older stuff, and it's always been like kind of on the back of my mind on my extended list. I'd love to get some of it. This stuff's really great. Like, I think I talked about them on Toy Anxiety a little bit last night. I feel like some of the paint jobs here, they're very simple. I think they're. I'm gonna buy these, is what I'm trying to say, Jay. They're maybe a little different than what I feel like the C-3PO and the R2D2, who normally would be my two go-tos. Those would be the ones, and I think I am planning on picking up the R2 for sure. But man, these are kind of crazy. I wonder how much these are gonna. I wonder what these are going to run.
I don't know.
I
like the Boba Fett, the prototype Boba Fett. If I had to pick one, if I'd be like, hey Jake, man, when you're there, pick me up one. I think not by like the style and the look of these toys, but just because I think like I'd be the one that I would like the most because my favorite character of these would be the R2. I think the R2.
Yeah. It's going to depend on what the prices are for me. Like I don't think all of these are must-haves. Like part of me wants them just because they're new Safubi and they're exclusives, but also like I think I don't think they all look super great, so it's like I'd probably pass on some of them. I feel like I want the Darth Vader 100% for sure, and then I might get the R2 and the C-3PO, but it's weird because Star Wars Celebration does like a weird there's like a store at Star Wars Celebration, but you have to have a reservation to get in, which none of us got a reservation. Like you might still be able to like towards the end of the weekend just go get in, but usually everything's like gone by then. I mean, the first year I went to Star Wars Celebration, I stood in a line for 5 hours to get in the Star Wars store, and then I didn't buy anything because like a lot of the stuff is kind of lame,
That's depressing.
It was weird. I stood in a line like by myself for most of the time, and then got in, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. But the last couple of years they've done it where you get like a reservation to get in. It's very weird the way they do their panels. We all had to. So yesterday, Star Wars Celebration opened up reservations for the panels, and they don't
Okay.
have, there's a panel on Friday, there's 2 panels on Saturday. You have to pick if you want to go to one or the other, and then there's a big panel on Sunday. And the way they do it is there's like a fucking online line that you have to get in, and when they let you in the line, you have to say, I want to get in the Mandalorian panel, I want to get in this panel or this panel, and you hope that you get it.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because like they have the actual panel rooms, and then they have 2 streaming rooms. So if this one sold out, you can maybe get in a streaming room, but they don't let you choose. They used to do. It's so fucking weird. This is a little tangent that has nothing to do with kaiju. So, but they used to do it where you requested. You said, "Hey, I have 3 people in my group. We want to go to the Mandalorian panel," and then you got an email saying whether or not you got it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And like last year, we didn't get any of the panel. We didn't get it, or not last year, but last celebration that we went to Anaheim. Yeah. But so this year they did a little different. Every person has to do it. So all 4 people in our main group, and then also Ryan. So the 5 of us are all like on our phones at 7:00 last night and trying to all get in the same panel so we can all be together. And what's really crazy is me and Craig got into all the panels. Nobody else got into any of them. So like it's just weird. Like me and Craig are the only ones who got into the Mandalorian panel, like the actual panel.
Yeah.
And then me and Craig also are the only ones who got into the Ahsoka panel. But then Craig gave his Ahsoka ticket to Ryan because he knew Ryan really wanted to see it. So me and Ryan are in Ahsoka. But like I think Jess and Abby got a streaming room for Ahsoka, but they didn't get Mandalorian at all. And I'm like, this is so weird because it like breaks your group up, and then it's like what am I'm supposed to just be like, hey Jess, fuck off, I'm going to see
you later,
Ahsoka, like what? It's just a weird, like I don't know, it's dumb. But anyway, I wonder what the toys are gonna cost.
Hey, maybe this you'd be like, hey Jess,
Jay.
You didn't get in any panels, can you go sit in line to get me a toy?
You go, Jess, you go get the Safubi, I'll be over here. I'm imagining like $200 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I wouldn't even.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, but they're cool. Hey Jay, I want to mention one other toy that you didn't put on there, because I keep thinking about it. And it's crazy because I don't really know much about the character other than like the one thing I've watched. But Hot Toys is putting out a classic Kamen Rider figure.
Oh, very cool.
And I just really love Hot Toys, and I know how good they are. And the pictures of the Kamen Rider figure look amazing. And I wish they do a lot of Kamen Rider stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would put out a classic Hot Toys Ultraman. That would be so cool. But the Kamen Rider just looks so good that it makes me want to buy it, even though I haven't seen much Kamen Rider.
Well, it's hard. I wonder if because Subaraya does a lot with X Plus, right? Like you get all the stuff. I wonder because if like they've ignored Toei or they haven't whatever. Like if Toei is like, hey, we'll work with Hot Toys then, great. And obviously Kamen Rider being one of their obviously biggest properties, so that'd be amazing. Like that'd be awesome.
It's just a cool toy. Yeah, just wanted to mention it.
Well, hey, go watch Shin Kamen Rider, dude. No, hey, on that flight to Japan, no excuses.
That's true.
Hey, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna predict it right now. Everybody, timestamp this. You're gonna watch it, and then when you go to Japan, when you land, and a few hours later, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna buy all the Kamen Rider stuff. And
Jay, I've already got my playlist set. I'm gonna watch the entire Heisei era of Godzilla films on the plane.
It's funny. I'm
not, but
last night I was like, we were doing some like preparing stuff for Japan, not for like us in Japan, but for like our people that are our parents and stuff that are watching our kids while we're gone, like just schedules and stuff. And I'm like, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so, it's already in near the end of March. It's going to be a couple weeks away. And I'm like, yeah, Shelly, you have like literally 2 weeks to watch like 36 Godzilla films. So, like, you got to watch them all.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't get by with just Godzilla -1 and Godzilla versus Kong.
so insane.
And like, I'm like, have you seen our itinerary? I mean, come on. Like, you got to know this. And she's like, well, I know the theme song to Ultra 7. I'm like, is that good enough? I'm like, sure.
Yeah. You'll need that. You'll need
I
that.
know, right? She'd randomly, like, going to be talking to Shelly. She'd be going 7, 7, 7. But no, I perfect segue. We are a segue machines today.
Here we go.
Hey, we're going to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that. Are you excited for anything about Japan?
Probably about 5 things.
About 5 things. Hey, exactly 5. Me too. Exactly 5 things. Yeah.
Jay, what? Go ahead.
So you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we're gonna go through our like top 5 things that we're looking forward to in Japan.
Broad categories.
Mine are so insanely broad that they're gonna be the same thing. Yeah,
mine are broad.
Well, it's possible they're gonna be the exact top, the exact same. You're not gonna have my number 5, but the other 4.
Say with me. You're not gonna have my number 5. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I bet 4 through 1 they're going to be pretty similar. But we're just going to go through and talk about the stuff that we're excited to do because we want to talk about Japan. So, Jay, how do you want to? Are you going to cut me off? What do you got a song?
No. I'm not cutting you off again. I want to. I need to have one.
You look like you're getting ready to press a button.
No, I'm. It's funny now. 2 weeks in, you already have like the Jay's about to cut me off with music. No, I do have. You know how I said this? I sent you a text message today. I was like, hey, dude, I'm not gonna do any slides or anything. I have a couple photos. Yeah. And I pulled the photos. I'm like, I have like 30 photos. Like, I need to put these on a slide.
And then you did slides. Okay.
I did a slide.
Hey, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do like all of your 5 or just whatever? Okay.
Yeah, we can do that, and that would be easy. Okay, I'll do my 5. So my number 5 is something. You guys might be doing this, but I don't know if it'll be in your top 5. This is my only one that's like not super broad. Everything else is like very, very, very broad. And let me pull this up here. Okay, here we go. Number 5 for me. On our end of our trip, I'm really excited for this. We're staying in a traditional ryokan at the base of Mount Fuji, and I'm really excited. I hope our room looks like this. But it's our kind of like the last 2 days before we go back home. And it's like the 2 days that don't have anything to do with Ultraman or Godzilla. But it's one of those, that it's like it's all like, there's beautiful gardens on site. It's the traditional ryokan where, we'll be, they'll come and they serve the full like omakase meal in your room and all that good stuff. So we're really pumped about that. That was one of my wonderful wives asked that we do one of these, and I really wanted to. So we're doing like a traditional Japanese style ryokan in Kawaguchiko in those last 2 days. So I'm really pumped for that because in my head, now this might not happen. In my head, it's like you have these, 1.5 weeks, 12 days, whatever it is, of just like super fun, like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to do this. And before you get on that flight, like you want to like decompress, but still be in that world and that environment and just be able to like just soak everything that's in, because we're going to be moving so fast, even though the days might all be jam packed. It's just it's going to, it always happens that way where it goes so fast. I think this will be a nice, relaxing way to essentially end the trip. So very excited about that. And so that was my number 5.
Jay, this looks amazing. This looks beautiful. Yeah. I wish we were doing this, but hey, I don't know. I guess I didn't send this to you. I sent it to our little group, our group chat that's going to Japan. But I saw on Instagram today, and I don't know, like, I didn't like read up on this to see like it was just on an Instagram post that was fed to me, but it was a thing saying that they're warning people in Tokyo right now of the possibility that Mount Fuji might be erupting soon.
Awesome. Great.
And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. And I don't think it's the kind of thing where they're like, in super danger, but they were like, there might be an ash warning. They're like, there might be like a, you might have to wear masks in that area, or might be hey, this is the perfect place to be. That will be
ground zero.
I was like, guys, what if when we're on our train to Osaka and we're passing Mount Fuji, it's fucking erupting? That would be amazing. Very cool.
This will not be my number 5. Now I'm excited.
Mount Fuji erupting will be.
But we're staying at the place has as a lot of the traditional Ryokans do, like have like the onsen, the spring, like the hot spring that's in like your room, like on the balcony and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to kind of sit there and take in the beautiful views and like the natural water, spring water and everything, like assuming it's not erupting.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So that's my number 5.
Love it.
Now, I do agree with you. Now, number 4 through 1, I think we'll probably have in various orders, maybe one different, because one of these slides you're going to hate, but you got to close your eyes and let me go with it. Number 4, the food. This is the one. Close your eyes. This is less about what we're eating, but where we're eating. So we're really excited about the food. I've always, since I was a wee little tot, always wanted to go to the Tsukiji Fish Market. And even though it's still just the outer market now, very excited about that, to walk the stalls and everything. But more importantly, Kaiju Sakaba, the Ultraman themed bar, the one in the Shimbashi Distillery location is the one we're going to. So we got that planned. We're going to a little dinner and show. It used to be the old robot restaurant, the very tourist trappy in the red light district. Well, they have one now that's Samurai Restaurant Time. We're going to be doing that. I'm excited. Our hotel in Osaka is right on the Dotonbori, so we're excited to go down and eat a lot of takoyaki. Close your ears, Jake. We're eating a lot of takoyaki. But then one thing that Shelly and I, like a long time ago, pre-kids, we loved our living in Chicago when we loved hitting up a lot of really cool fine dining establishments and stuff. And we went through the early 2010s and stuff, going through like the phase of like molecular gastronomy, and we loved all that crap, right? Well, there's one restaurant that we've always wanted to go to. We never thought we would do it, and that was Ryujin. And it's a famous restaurant in Japan. It's been as high in the Condé Nast top restaurants in the world as number 20. It's a really cool establishment, and it's one of those restaurants, like, we're not allowed to wear perfume or cologne or even heavy deodorant or shampoo, because it they don't want it to stunt the sensory impact of the food and the smells and everything. So we're really excited, but have like one kind of like date night out at a really kind of suit and tie place. So I'm excited for that. But just the eclectic nature of the places we are going to eat, from a lot of street food to an Ultraman themed bar to a show with giant samurai and yokai and dancing J-pop bands and everything all in one show, to a 3 Michelin star restaurant. Like, I love that, like the diversity. So I'm really excited about that. So that's number 4 for me, is the food.
Very cool.
Number 3, you don't have this one.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Not on my list.
I know. We are going to a game at the Tokyo Dome between the Yomiuri Giants and the defending NPB champions, the Yokohama Bay Stars. So I'm excited to do that. That's one thing that I've always dreamed of going to. Baseball's really, 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 really high up on my list of things I love, and to be able to go to the Tokyo Dome to watch the Tokyo Giants, the Yomiuri Giants play. They're the the Yankees of Japanese baseball, is really cool. Shelly and I already got full gear, already ready to go. There are sections in the stadium that you can't get into unless you're wearing Yomiuri Giants.
Wow,
I love that.
That's cool.
And I've seen the Team Japan play before in Los Angeles, and it's such a crazy experience. And then taking that and putting it in Japan, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm so pumped. So pumped.
That's
so pumped.
cool.
So pumped.
That's cool,
Yeah.
man. I don't know what any of those words were you just said, but I'm very excited for you. It seems impressive. No, that's cool.
I'm very. This
It's
is
gonna be
this is
cool.
big.
Yeah.
Number 2 and 1, you may know. So number 2, I had to come up with a category for it because there's like so much stuff. So I just called it Toku Tourist. So these are the things that, like, if Jake and I don't go to, like, people are gonna be like, "Ooh, are y'all even fans?"
Yeah.
So we're going. I have like Toho Studios, the Shin Godzilla statue in Hibiya Square. And I'm going down to Waji Island to zip line. I've never been ziplining before, so that's actually really cool for me.
Wow.
Like into Shin Godzilla. We're staying the last night when we drive up from the Ryokan and Mount Fuji to Tokyo before we catch our flight the next morning. We're staying in the Godzilla room at the Hotel Grossery Shinjuku.
Fuck
So I'm
yeah,
pretty
dude.
excited about it. But if I had to go like specific and pick the favorite thing and the whole trip in Japan that I'm actually most looking forward to, 100% true. It's actually the day that we're gonna cross paths and we're gonna go up to Sukagawa to the Tsuburaya Museum,
Yeah.
to the sleepy little town of Sukagaya. And I'm so excited to go to the Tsuburaya Museum, walk around the streets and take pictures with all the statues of all the ultra kaiju and ultra heroes, and just that whole town where Tsuburaya was born and everything. Yeah.
Me too. That's also the thing I'm looking forward to more than anything.
Yeah.
is that thing.
And I think it's cool because, like, we'll both, especially you, because you're there earlier, been in the hustle and bustle of Tokyo, and to be able to take a day trip kind of a little bit to a slower pace,
Right.
sleepy town, I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So like, all the Toku tourism stuff, lots of Godzilla statues. Like, I mean, everything we go into, I'm sure it's going to be just crazy. Those are just some of the highlights. But the Tsuburaya Museum, once again, like, it is number 1 with a bullet for the whole trip for me.
Yeah. Me too.
And then number 1 for me, no surprise. Let's go toy shop. Whether it's Nakano Broadway, Hakuba Gallery, One Up, Astro Zombies, Project 1/6, Godzilla all the Godzilla stores, M78 World, Ultraman World, whatever you want to call it, T-Base Japan, Han Shibuya. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm very excited to just, and it's not even the buying part to me that I'm most excited for. It's just to be surrounded in stores with a lot that has more than 1 or 2 things that I like, and it has it has multiple things. In that we just want to experience that very much, right? We have to go to Monster Patrol or Leviathan Collectibles or whatever to like be surrounded even by a handful of things that are like truly what we love. And to go into these places, I think is that just feeling to me is going to be really cool. And I mean, I know I'm going to buy some cool stuff, don't get me wrong, but like, I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most is just to go to these places and, no expectations. I mean, like literally, like there's going to be great stuff, and I just going to kind of just go there, and wherever it takes me, it takes me.
Just let it speak to you.
Let it speak to me. I think that's perfect. So that's what I got. Those are my top 5.
Well, 3 out of our 5 are identical. I'll go through mine, and if there's anything more we want to say about them, but literally 3 of ours are the same. My number 5, I just put Star Wars Celebration, and I kind of paired it with Universal Studios Japan. We're doing that, and I just feel like those 2 things kind of go together because like they are things you can experience here. I've experienced Universal Studios and I've experienced Star Wars Celebration, but they're going to be very different. Star Wars Celebration is very, very heavily they go really hard into the culture of wherever they're holding Celebration, and they've revealed other than the Safubi, like they have a lot of other exclusives that are kind of like very Japanese inspired. And I don't know how many days I'm going to end up being at Celebration. Like it's the end of our trip, it's the very end. It's the last thing we're doing. But I was like, but there's a possibility I'm going to go to Star Wars Celebration for one day and then be like, maybe I just want to spend the last day in, doing one other thing in Tokyo or something. We're gonna be there anyway. But Japan, the Universal is very different. They have some stuff that we don't have here. Well, I got bad news about Jaws, dude.
No! What happened?
When I found this out, you can ask Craig.
You canceled the trip?
Craig saw me in a state that I was not proud to be in.
Oh no! I don't.
Jaws is going to be closed while we're there.
Why?
In it for refurbishment. It's going to be closed for the entirety of like our trip to Japan. If you go to the website, you can look at like when things are down, and it's Jaws is fucking closed. It's going to be closed the whole time we're there. And there was a moment in time where I was like, I think I might skip the Universal trip. I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I even want to go to Universal Studios.
They'll ruin the rest
if
of
I can.
Yeah.
If I have to walk by and not be able to do the Jaws thing. I was so like, if Jaws was open, that probably would have been my number one thing that I was looking forward to in Japan, was to ride the Jaws ride. But it's closed. So
I got an Instagram post today from that was like the top 10 or top 5 or top 5 fun foods at Universal Japan, and it like had like the Jaws, had a Jaws something. It looked like it was like,
I think all that shit is going to be open. It's just the ride's going to be closed. Okay. Like the stores and the little Amity section.
Yeah.
All that is probably going to be open. I think the ride is just down because they're doing some kind of maintenance, but it's literally down. I've been checking it multiple times to see if it changes. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if it got pushed back, but it's going to be down like April the 6th through the 29th or something. And I'm like, oh, cool. That's the days that's the days we're going to be there. So bums me out. I have not even I got so fucking annoyed when I
didn't mean to bring it up. I had no idea, man.
No, I mean, I know you didn't know. It's like, I mean, if it's not a big deal, but it's just such a bummer. I
know.
Anyway, that's my number 5 is Star Wars Celebration and all that stuff. Number 4, you kind of talked about a little bit, but my number 4 is just traditional Japan. Just seeing Japan and seeing all the. I am really, really excited to see, like temples and just the architecture and the people. Like, I love that. I mean, literally, like, this whole podcast is, based on that culture and everything. And I'm so excited to get there and like be in this peaceful kind of like, I don't know, man. I just want to see everything. I'm excited to I got a stamp book ready to go. Like, I'm just excited to experience just like traditional Japan.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that because that's one thing that's always been so desirable about Japan and even like, in China and some parts of like, Bangkok and Thailand and stuff. It's like that nice mix of, you can see a skyscraper and then turn the corner and then there's this peaceful, tranquil, shrine or temple. Yeah.
The fucking, the entire like aesthetic is amazing. And, like when you call it an aesthetic, that sounds trendy and shit, but like, like this is Godzilla is like kind of, it's our favorite thing and it's always been our favorite thing. So clearly like we're going to gravitate towards that kind of thing. But like I was talking to my cousin last weekend, a cousin I don't get to see very often. And she, we were talking about Japan and she's been twice for work and they were like quick trips, but she was talking about how she was like, oh, the food's not good. And I'm like, what do you mean the food's not good? I was like, it's going to be the best food I've ever had in my life. And it's like, it's because she's just not like, she's like, yeah, but raw fish. And I'm like, I'm not eating raw fish, but I'm like, oh, you mean sushi? It's like, it's, I mean, I don't eat that, but I guarantee you it's good. Like I guarantee you they know what they're doing. She's just like not a person who like really cares about that. that culture or whatever. But me, I'm like everything about the way it looks, the whole like staying up at night and the nightlife looks so cool, and like all of the restaurants are cool. I just fucking love everything about it. Taking your shoes off, like being chill, fucking streams,
taking your time.
Everything is exactly like everything being like respectful and like being quiet and not throwing trash on the ground. Like, that shit drives me crazy over here when people are just needlessly like loud and rude and wasteful and there's trash. And like everything you hear is like they don't play that shit over there. They just don't do it. I'm just dying to be around that.
Yeah.
So
well,
you know what I really want to, dude. Louie went and saw the 5, 6, 7, 8s. She posted it in her like stories. Like, fuck, I want to go see that. And like me and Jess were looking up and be like, ooh, I wonder if they're playing anywhere while we're gonna be there, you know. I want to do a lot of that kind of stuff. I want to do some like, hey, it's midnight. Let's go to an arcade and stay up.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to do that.
You would love that. So going back to the like traditional and taking your time and like respectful stuff. Like it's funny, they when I was going to make reservations at the Ryokan, they're like their thing is like, if you're looking for a hotel with like easy options to eat and things that you can do fast, this is not your place. Like everything here, we want to take time. It's going to take you hours to eat. That's fine. Like you need to appreciate every moment and respect the time and everything that went into it, you know, because obviously disrespectful if they spend an hour making your food and you eat it in 10 minutes. Right. So I love that. I mean, that's not how we operate. And I need a nice dose of that. Cause me, I'm like, I barely have time to breathe. I'm excited to not do that.
I'm going to throw some shade at Craig, but it's okay because he's not going to listen. Whenever we were booking our Airbnb, one of his decision-making things was like, oh, well, this Airbnb has like Western style beds. And I was like, dude, fuck you. I was like, oh, you don't want to sleep in a Japanese style bed for 2 weeks? He's like, dude, I'm 40 and my back's starting to hurt. And I'm like, those people are 40 and their backs hurt too. I was like, hey, your back might not hurt if you spend 2 weeks on a Japanese bed. You know, I was like,
I was
a little annoyed. I was like, I want to stay somewhere where I'm sleeping on a fucking hole in a floor. Like that's what I want, you know?
I can say this, not directly at Craig, but like, this is reason, the reasons our backs hurt. Cause like I said, I'm in this boat isn't because of our beds. It's because of the, extra French fries we've been eating. You know, like that's how my mind is. When you're 40 and you're you know, and you're not in your high school football you know, weight, that happens. It's carrying a little bit too much weight on it. And so that is what's happening to me at least. But so no, I love the concept of the sleep in the Japanese, but like embrace as much of it as you can, and that's for any.
That's what I thought. I was like, we're going to Japan. Why not? What they do. Like, why are we letting that influence our decision? Sorry, I'm just talking shit about Craig right now.
No, that was more at me, but like I'm saying, like
no,
Craig,
I am. I'm talking shit about Craig right now.
Oh, poor Craig. We love you, Craig.
My number 3 is food. It is the food. I am looking forward to the food. I do not, you know, I eat a strictly plant-based lifestyle, and I've been looking at stuff, and I think there might be a couple days where it might be a little. I think the day we go to the museum might be a day of eating very light for me. I don't think there's going to be a ton of stuff for me in that town. But Tokyo and. Hey, you know what? Hey, in Osaka, I found multiple places that have vegan.
Well, Osaka's more into like, their food is awesome there,
right? Like, but like, there's tons of vegan options, and I want to eat all of it. Like, that's really like clearly that's one of my favorite things to do, and I'm super excited. That's my favorite kind of food anyway, you know. So food's number 3. And
hey, speaking of vegan, I just got a note, like literally, like when we were about to sign on to talk. I'm working on getting a food truck for Kaiju Go again, a different one.
Yeah.
And this one he just confirmed they do. And I said vegan, not vegetarian, vegan, because we had that little issue, not at the food truck, but with the restaurant.
Right.
And he's like, no, vegan. They'd have vegan tacos.
Hell yeah,
This
dude.
food truck.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
A taco
That's
bomb.
great. I'm excited, dude. Dude, hey, my number 2 and 1 are literally the same as you. 2, I put Godzilla / Toku, and
Yeah.
same thing you said. All the Godzilla stuff, literally my favorite thing. Hey, it was when I was having the conversation with my cousin about
Yeah.
Japan. She didn't know. She was like, "Hey," she was like, "Is there going to be a lot of Godzilla stuff, or is that like?" She's like, "Is it offensive that I'm even asking you that?" You know? And I was like, "Hey," I was like, it's literally he's bigger than Mickey Mouse over there." I was like, "There's Godzilla shit everywhere." And she was like, "That's very good for you." And I was like, "Yes, it is." I was like showing her pictures of the zip line and the hotel. I was like, "You don't understand. It is Godzilla everywhere." Yeah, that's my number 2, man. Seeing all the Godzilla stuff, the Toku stuff, the tokusatsu,
Yeah.
all of that. Like that's
I mean,
clearly
just to be like literally like to be there, especially with like you, who is obviously a like-minded individual, and like obviously we've done this podcast now for many years. Like to be in like Subaraya's hometown, and that Godzilla and obviously Ultraman, like that is just, I mean, that's going to be like, I'm not a religious guy, but that would be like a closer religious experience as I'm going to get,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, like I said, my number 1 also same as yours, toys. It's doing the toy hunting. Honestly, I think that's most of what our crew is going to be doing in Japan is like going to stores, going to toy stores. I want to say toys / books, because even though I don't have a ton of like specific bookstores, I've been watching a ton of the Tokyo. I forget his name, but the book hunter. He's always hanging out with Tokyo Toy Bonsai, and the places they go together. Like anytime they put a new video out, I'm like sending the link in our group chat. I'm like, "Hey, here's 10 more toy stores we need to look at," But like, just like you said, you watch these videos and you see 4 stories of like Safubi, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be insane. It's just gonna be insane. There's gonna be like, usually, I mean, going to like Decon was the craziest thing for a Safubi lover, just because there was like half a convention hall of Safubi. But then it's like, okay, but you're gonna go to a place where there are tons of stores that are multiple levels of just Safubi. Just Safubi, just Godzilla shit just casually everywhere. And that is my dream, Jay. It's just my dream, and
we'll be there to document it all.
And like
cameras rolling,
and especially because I love the stuff even the stuff that's not the toys, like, the kind of stuff we show off on here, the fucking train set, or like stationery, or just like old Godzilla cups, or like whatever, all the other stuff that isn't necessarily Safubi. And I have like a feeling that there's just going to be a lot of that kind of stuff, like old games or whatever, so yeah, and it's coming up. It's so insanely soon. I can't believe it.
I know. I'm excited. It is it's gonna be super cool, and I'm excited to document all of it, and to like I said, it'll be really cool, and it'll be it's so weird that like we booked these at the same time, and they overlap, and so
I'm glad they did. It's the best. Yeah. It's the best thing ever. Well, listen, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Like we said earlier, we're not gonna have another traditional episode anyway before we take off. We'll try to get something out, because I guess if we don't we'll at least have like some sort of, we'll put some stuff out while we're there, or not like we're gonna do stuff, but
Jake's gonna do a Shin Kamen Rider review from the airplane.
I might, dude. I might get bored, but I am gonna try to put a video together of just like a casual Japan trip video that we'll put on the channel. But the trip's not for 2 weeks, and then we're gone for 2 weeks, so don't expect like a regular episode for, I don't know, like a month. we're gonna
have withdrawals, which is okay. Just reach out to us, we'll chat with you. We'll have our own like, we'll DM you, and like we'll have our own little personal conversation.
Sure.
Totally cool.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram. Our Instagrams are here. I'm gonna be posting annoyingly. I want everybody in my real life to want to unfollow me by the time I get back.
Love it. That's a good goal.
All right, guys, we're gonna head out of here. Jay, you got anything else?
Nope. Super excited, and I'm excited to hear your review of Shin Kamen Rider.